With Hasbro's big push to fan channel this year, especially with all the prequel goodness in the Black Series, a lot of people have been asking us, what fan channel route do we take? Sup guys, I'm Justin from Out of the Basement, joined with Nate.
How's it going, everybody?
And today we're going to be talking to you about why we prefer Big Bad Toy Store.
Yeah, this is our own personal experience, so definitely keep that in mind. This is very anecdotal to our preferences, our experience. Keep that in mind throughout the entire duration of this video. This is also mostly from a Black Series collector's perspective. I mean, I was actually going way back on my Big Bad orders, and I was like, ooh, seeing some of those Friday the 13th NECA Ultimates for $24.99, I was like, oh, those were the good old days.
Yeah, but mostly from a Black Series perspective as well. And lastly, and most importantly, this is a U.S. perspective. We live in the United States. So basically, we're just saying this is our subjective, incredibly anecdotal, like it's just our take. Because people have been asking us what fan channel we use, and we just want to answer. So it's, if I say, I think it has good this, someone else might not have had that same experience. So just keep that in mind. We're just two guys here. I wanted to sort of frame this video in almost kind of a pros and cons way.
Yeah.
Because another huge important thing to point out is we are not affiliated with Big Bad Toy Store in any way. We are just customers.
Yep.
Because I know that's immediately what people would jump to is, oh, you must just be in Big Bad's pocket. No, absolutely not. I don't even think they follow us on any social media.
No, totally unaffiliated. I mean, they don't even have like an affiliate link program like something like Entertainment Earth or Amazon does, where you can technically have affiliate links, but not like, be directly involved with the company. So they don't have any of that. So we are not associated with them at all, except for right now. Use code Out of the Basement for free shipping on your next order.
So let's jump into number one, which is getting stuff early.
Yeah.
Especially lately.
Yeah. There was a point in time where I would say Big Bad was actually the last people to ever get anything, but within the past 2-3-ish years, they've really changed that around, and really within the past year, especially when it comes to Black Series, they have gotten almost every single release months before I've ever seen them available anywhere else.
Absolutely. And some recent examples I was looking at was their big push to fan channel this year, especially for all this prequel trilogy stuff that we've been getting, which I'm loving the prequel stuff that's just fan channel. Side note, love it because it's very easy. So Anakin, Padme, we definitely got those first. And I don't mean first in the world. I just mean before Entertainment Earth or Amazon, GameStop, Pulse, especially Pulse.
Yeah, right.
Pulse is like dead last these days. But the Phase 1 Clone Trooper, we definitely got that before the other fan channels. The Droideka, definitely got that. Kiadi Mundi.
Right.
At least that like first batch, because we like pre-ordered it right away.
Yeah, so we were in on it pretty early. I mean, even last year, for me, besides the Ahsoka, that Clone Wars wave that came and went, we got all of those fairly early as well, like the Magna Guard, the Phase 2 Plain Clone Trooper, stuff like that came pretty quickly from them.
Yeah, for added context, we usually pre-order stuff right away.
Right.
So if you pre-order it later, that puts you at the back of the line, I'm assuming.
Right.
So
I mean, that's what it seems like.
Yeah.
It seems like the earlier you pre-order that they, it seems like they fulfill orders in chronological order, which I would assume is probably the easiest way to do it, I would imagine.
Yeah. So join that Discord and you'll never miss the links for when these pre-orders go up. And again, we're not saying, Entertainment Earth is never first, or Pulse is never first, or GameStop is never first. It's a figure-by-figure basis, but just the overall vibe and just my thoughts the last couple years of collecting, I think Big Bad usually, at least for us, gets stuff pretty early and before other retailers.
Another huge advantage of Big Bad Toy Store, and something that no other website offers, is the pile of loot shipping option, which this is basically a pile of loot. It's exactly what it sounds like. They will hold your orders in one big shipment for up to 90 days, I believe, per item. It depends on when you put that item into your pile of loot. It starts the clock down for that item. You can ship selected items from it. You can ship the entire loot box at once, and that ties into kind of the other point of this little bullet is the cheap flat rate shipping. $4 flat rate shipping.
Right.
That includes any order that you buy. If you just want to buy one figure, $4 shipping. If you want to buy 2 figures, $4 shipping.
You want to buy 10 figures?
If you want to ship your 15 item pile of loot, $4 shipping.
Yeah, and I love how you can combine it with pre-orders and in-stock items. So if there was like a clone trooper that's in stock, but you're waiting for the Ki-Adi-Mundi pre-order to process, you can put them both in the pile of loot. When the pre-order arrives, it goes in the pile of loot, and you can ship both for $4 instead of breaking up those shipments. You would have had to spend $4 each. So it saves you money in the long run, and it's, like I said, in stock, pre-orders, especially if you have multiple pre-orders. One is saying June, one is saying July, or maybe 2 or 3 are saying July, one is saying June, one is saying May. It's like you can kind of, map it out to where you're just going to have a nice, solid pile of loot, and you don't have to waste a whole bunch of money on the shipping. That's one of the main draws to Big Bad Toy Store, I would say. It's a beautiful system.
Yeah, and you might be thinking like, oh, $4 shipping, it's probably super slow, probably takes a million years to get to your house, and honestly, it really doesn't. Like, I think the shipping is fairly consistent. I mean, of course, it is anecdotal because we live in the Midwest, and they're a Midwest-based company.
They're also in Wisconsin.
Right.
And we're pretty close to Wisconsin.
That's why I asked.
We're a little biased. A little.
But, it is nice to get something so fast, and you don't pay a lot for shipping. They also do a great job, packing everything up for you. They do have other shipping options too. If you want faster shipping, they of course offer, more standardized priced shipping. But I really do feel like one of the big draws of Big Bad is the $4 shipping, especially for a pile of loot. I've got like 15 items in my pile of loot that I've been building up for the past like 40-ish days.
Yeah.
And, if I bought that from anywhere else, I'd be looking at $10, $20 shipping on that box. And I'm only going to have to pay $4 to ship that massive box to my front door.
Then we get the box, and it's like Christmas. Because it's like all figures from different lines if you collect multiple lines. And it's like a Christmas morning spectacular.
It really is. I love getting big piles of loot. It's really nice.
Number 3 is that you are supporting a specialized business. I'm not going to say small business because I think they've actually grown quite a bit, but they're a specialized business over companies like Amazon, Target, Walmart, basically big box retail that is going to ship your figure in a bubble mailer. I have never, ever got a Big Bad Toy Store shipment in a bubble mailer. I don't think it's in their MO at all.
Yeah, they use specifically really thick cardboard boxes, which is great to save them, recycle them, and use them if you ship stuff out because you're like, wow, I'm
always shipping stuff with the big bad tape on it.
Absolutely, because their boxes are really nice thick cardboard. They use that really nice packing tape that has like the little fibers in it, so it's sturdy. It won't come off during the shipping process.
Tons of bubble wrap, like the nice quality thick bubble wrap in almost all of my experiences. So using this smaller, more specialized business, they're going to put more care into things like shipping and the packaging and everything. And if the packaging is damaged, you get a little you can get a couple dollars off by selecting if they get something that's damaged in the first place. It's like a little option on their website.
Yep.
So they're going to put more care into your stuff compared to Walmart.
Right.
Notorious for
Walmart.
Just
order
terrible.
1 figure, bubble mailer, 2 figures, bubble mailer, 3 figures, bubble mailer.
Because Big Bad, it's a toy store.
Yeah.
So
They care. They understand that we're collectors. There are a lot of people that care about the packaging, and they take care of those kinds of people. Like, if you are an inbox collector, I feel like you should absolutely be ordering from Big Bad Toy Store, because even when you pick just the standard option, everything usually arrives minty fresh. And they even have an option above that where you can pay a little bit more, and they'll take even extra care to make sure that your carded item, your inbox item, arrives to you in pristine condition.
Coming in at number 4 might be a mixed. We might clash a tiny bit here.
Just a little bit.
So this might be mixed, as far as pros and cons, but I put good customer service on here because the experiences that I've had have been excellent. Namely, when I had the Hammond Collection Tyrannosaurus Rex arrive. It's a figure that has the glass eyes with the pupils, and the pupil will like follow you. It just had really bad QC. It was like super cloudy, like something weird happened in the production process. I contacted them, and the Hammond Collection T-Rex was out of stock, but they gave me a $50 credit on their website, and they let me keep the T-Rex that I had.
Nice.
So I thought that was like really good. That's like my only experience, though. You said you actually had kind of a more negative experience, so
just a little bit. I mean, I got a pretty bad QC issue on my Andrew Garfield Spider-Man figure. The web lines were like noticeably, because he has sculpted web lines, and the print of the paint was totally off. And unfortunately, they wouldn't let me do an exchange. They only gave me the option to return it. I just wanted to exchange it for another one. It was in stock at the time.
And it's not like you opened it or anything?
Yeah, I didn't open it or anything like that, but they told me they couldn't do that. They said I could return it, which is, good. I mean, I'm glad I could return it, but at that point, you got to pay shipping to send it back, and I was just like, whatever, I'll just keep it.
Yeah.
But they do offer a really nice service to where, kind of going back to the pile of loot, if you decide something hits your pile of loot and you don't want it, they will take it out of your pile of loot and give you store credit.
Okay.
Yeah, which is pretty nice. I would not see any other companies do that.
Yeah, because quick side note about the pile of loot, it does charge your method of payment when it arrives.
Right.
And then when you go to ship it, that's when you pay the $4.
Right.
So you're accruing all these things in your pile of loot. You are paying for them as they go into your pile of loot. It's not like one huge charge at the very end before it ships.
Yeah, but I would say in general, even with my minor negative experience, I would agree with you, though. They have great customer service. They genuinely care. You could even call them on the phone, which is kind of crazy in this day and age.
And just like from what I've heard from being in the community for almost 10 years now, no one's ever really had problems with Big Bad. But now let's get into the cons, because we're going to be fair.
Yeah, of
Again,
course.
We're not friends with them. They don't hold us in any... We don't have any advantages. We're not sponsored. I have no reason to be nice. I'm literally, like, this is to help the people who have been asking.
Of course.
So we are going to be totally truthful, fair, and honest, and we do have some cons. The first one being that they do tend to price higher than retail, especially when it comes to things like Black Series, by $1, $2 for like regular mainline. But the fact that they offer $4 flat rate shipping, I'm like, I kind of understand it.
Yeah, it's usually only $1 or $2, and when you factor that in, let's just say for an example, you're paying $6 for the shipping because the figures are an extra $2. Buy one figure off of Entertainment Earth. $10+ shipping.
Yeah.
Every time I've ordered something off of Entertainment Earth, not that, I'm not saying they're a bad company, they do a good job too, but their shipping prices are outrageous. Why does it cost $10 to ship a TVC figure from California to Indiana?
Yeah, I mean, over double the cost. of shipping, of Big Bad's shipping, over double the cost of Big Bad's shipping.
Especially when you factor in they're a huge corporation. They probably get massive discounts on shipping. It just seems kind of weird, especially for like people like us where we ship at least one figure a month regularly to our Basement Battalion members. Quick plug there.
Join that channel membership.
Very hard to send a single figure for like more than $6-7, at least in the continental United States. You know, if it's international ship, I mean, we've shipped stuff internationally and it's only been like $20 shipping. So you're like, I I don't understand that.
That makes me think of something else. Big Bad Toy Store ships to like the UK, the EU, and maybe some other, maybe Asian countries. I am not 100% sure, but I know UK and then the rest of what would be the EU for $8.
Right. Go back to the pros real quick, and we'll tack in that they do ship internationally, $8 shipping. So if you are one of those collectors that missed out on the US only re-releases,
$8,
you actually had a chance to get them. You just had to buy them off of Big Bad Toy Store and do the international shipping option, and they would have sent them to you. So.
$8 might take a long time, but $8 international is $8 international. So
that's right.
Yeah. Quick side note on that. Another one of the cons. This is a pretty big one and something that I think is a little icky. A little icky that they do, and that is borderline kind of scalping on some.
Yeah, it's.
I call it eventual price gouging, and what I mean by this is that it seems when they eventually get a second round of figures they know will be desirable, they will frequently price gouge it, and I kind of think it's almost kind of scalping because it's just like behavior I would expect from some eBay dweller.
Right. Typically, like you said, it's like a second run or a second round. It's after the figure's initial run, and like maybe it has accrued some value on the secondary market, and so they kind of adapt the prices to reflect the secondary market. They usually still, in their defense, usually still go a little below the secondary market, but it's still above the retail price, and it just feels weird when it's a company doing it.
Right. It just feels weird to see them selling Cara Dune for like $70 or $80, or the Disguise Boba Fett, that was one. They have the Credit Collection Boba for like $45 right now.
If it was Ladies Man 2187 on eBay, you know, I wouldn't mind. But it's when it's a company and they're doing it, you're just kind of like, this is weird. This is a little odd.
Yeah. So when they have their $50 Dark Trooper Credit Collection, I'm like, yeah, I get that it's exclusive. They did the Bad Batch Rex at a price gouge. But yeah, I think it just feels weird coming from a company that has like good faith with the community.
Right.
So I would honestly prefer it if they were to stop doing that. Hey, it's capitalism. They're going to do what they want. They're a company. But when I see companies price gouging intentionally when they know something is going to be super desirable, Dual Zen Vader, $50 for a regular figure. Yeah, it was Target exclusive, but $50, Big Bad, like...
Hey, maybe they had to go to Target themselves.
Which like they probably do, and I'm like, I don't like that either, because you're taking all the Target stock and then you're a flipper.
Right.
Stop doing that, Big Bad. I love you, but let's cut that out. Who knows? Maybe they'll comment down below and start defending themselves. Big Bad, comment down below. You'll probably come across this video, I imagine.
Maybe. Who
knows?
The last kind of con here, even though I was glazing them earlier in the video about the shipping, but they do play a little bit of shipping provider roulette. What we mean by this is sometimes your package might ship via FedEx, sometimes it might go USPS, sometimes it might go UPS, sometimes it might go DHL on the Oregon Trail.
DHL still using buggies, like carriages.
They're like, ford the river.
It's literally George Washington in the little boat. That's what they're delivering.
He's got your big bad box right there, and he's got his poor men behind him just rowing away. But
it can get a little annoying because I just hate that it's a game of chance. Because if it's USPS or UPS in relation to where we live, it's going to be lightning speed.
Yep.
If it's DHL, it's going to sit for a week before it even gets shipped. If it's DHL, it's just sitting on shipping label created. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Your shipping label has been created, a waiting item. If it's DHL, it's a nightmare. FedEx, I haven't really gotten, but I don't like that. It's just like a roll of the dice.
Yeah. I have gotten the FedEx treatment a few times from them, and it's fine. It's not. Okay. It's not bad. Okay. It's not good. It's just somewhere in the middle. But yeah, you're right. You know, the worst case scenario is DHL, and you know, people in the community have also expressed to us that while in our anecdotal point of view, the shipping is relatively quick, as we are nearby Wisconsin, some people that are a little bit further away have expressed to us that the shipping, the $4 shipping, can take some time. But still, I mean, I feel like when you're saving that kind of money on the shipping, it's to be expected. And honestly, when I pay $10, $11 shipping from Entertainment Earth, it still takes the same amount of time. It still takes a week, week and a half, and I'm like, I paid for the super saver shipping option off of Entertainment Earth, and I'm not really feeling the savings.
Right. So to recap this video, let's go down the list one more time. Number 1 is, in our experience, we get stuff ASAP. Number 2, the pile of loot and the $4 flat rate shipping. Number 3, you're supporting a specialized business who is going to take great care of the collectible items that we know and love. A lot of love and care is put into the packaging, and in my experience at least, pretty good customer service as well. With the cons being, you know, there is $1 or $2 tacked on to mainline, deluxe, maybe $1 tacked on at the end. They do kind of scalp some things that they know is going to be desirable. And I don't mean scalp in the sense that they're going to the stores and clearing the pegs. It's probably some pallet warehouse deal thing.
Right.
And number 3 of the cons being shipping provider roulette. So take with that what you will. And at the end of the day, that is why we prefer and we support Big Bad Toy Store. What do you think, Nate? Are we wrong? Are we going to get cooked in the comments? Are people going to agree with us? You know what they should do? Comment down below.
Let us know.
Because it'll be helpful to other collectors that are looking in the comments of this video. What are the pros and cons of some other retailers? Because I didn't really want to make this a comparison video.
Right.
I just wanted to straightforward answer the question, which one do we go with?
Right, because while we do use other different methods of getting figures online, in general, Big Bad Toy Store is our number 1 go-to, and we've been customers with them pretty much the entire time we've been collecting action figures.
Yeah.
When like I said, mentioned earlier, when I was looking back, I was like, oh, damn, this is going back. This is going back. Like 2016 going back.
Right.
With those sweet, sweet $24 Ultimate NECA figures, Justin. Those were the days.
Yep. So who do you prefer? Let us know. Hit like, subscribe if you are new. We are always talking about the Black Series here on the channel. I've been Dorkside Toys, joined with Old Republic Collectibles.
Oh, fuck. Take care, everybody.
And this has been Megalopolis, signing out. With GTP Toys.
Yeah. The Tantive 4 Princess Edition is coming, guys.
Just kidding. Take care, guys. Love you all.